For me, it's been, I think, a learning process and sharing, and with the knowledge that I've been able to learn from all the master weavers that are since gone. It's my commitment that we would make sure that we would perpetuate this tradition. Sharing the knowledge with everyone that wants to learn is my journey.
When we live in such a throwaway culture, I think there's value in making our own objects and repairing and passing them down. A kuleana, I guess, to keep these family practices alive. My name is Keaukaha Naone. I've been weaving for 10 years. My kumu is Kumu Michele.
My name is Michele Zane-Faridi. My first kumu is Ulana Komoku. And I've been weaving a little over, I would say, about 25 years. For me, I always loved the items that I've collected over the years, hand-woven hats and purses and items that were utilitarian in my home. But I never dreamed that I would learn how to weave one day, and I found it was, definitely one of my passions.
We can see that a lot of emphasis with people who've been weaving for a long time is put onto care of the puhala and cleaning it, because if you don't have it, what are you weaving with?
When you have a better understanding of the process of how to care for the plant and how to clean the leaves and how to get it to the point where you're ready to weave, the amount of care that you put into your weaving in the long run will show because of that whole process.
Just all the leaves, all the lau that are on the ground, we took them away from the tree because it was all over the roots and everything. Made a pile and then picked all the brown leaves that were hanging, and so now it's like reset, ready to, now like when the lau start falling, they're good.
Yeah, it's not really written. A lot of it you have to go and really actually experience it yourself, and it's through time and a lot of experience that you understand the various things that you have to pay attention to. It really depends where you live, where you're going to use your product. And I live Makai, right near the ocean, and I prefer Makai because the lau that I use in my home is acclimated, so it's just really works well. I usually like to pick the ones that are still on the tree, that are brown but not completely dry. So I pick it early and I clean it really well, and then I loosely roll it in a kuka'a and I put it in a dark corner and I let it dry for several months, and that's where I would be assured that the leaves are really good quality when I'm using it for weaving.
So after we pick the lau and we have all the good ones that we want to use, then we cut the lau to the usable sections. So usually for the tip where the lau bends is where I cut it, because the part after that is usually really thin and mildewy, or it's falling apart. And then the base is usually really thick, so we go like about a foot. So then after you cut off the head and the tail to have the usable section, you strip off the kokala on the sides, the thorns, about like a 1/4 inch strip you would take off. So you do that to both sides of the lau, and then you use another tool or just your fingers to take out the kua, which is the midrib that has thorns on it, and then it's rolled onto ohe, the bamboo roller, to flatten out the lau.
Usually the center, sometimes that's how you get bugs in the kuka'as when you're storing the lau. So that's why I remove the center before I store it.
When I roll it backwards with the outside facing up. That way it helps to kind of flatten and smooth out the leaf, because usually they're curled inwards.
Before you even weave, you should put in a kuka'a for at least a week, and it will flatten the lao properly before you can actually use it. If I really took a lot of care in harvesting my lao and picking the right type of lao, my end product will last many years longer. Like anything else that we do, like going camping, you go to the place and you leave it better than when you first came. And so that's the same thing I do with the tree. You leave it in better condition than when you first went there and got something from it.